Hi, Rob from Cardinal Creations. I'm the service tech here, and this is another installment of threading your machine. We're going to start out with the spool in what would be the normal spot for it to be on a Brother machine. We're going to come around and we're going to do number 1, loop around to number 2, then we loop around here, go down to number 3, and then we're going to come up. Now here's the trick. See how there's that gate right there that stopped us from going all the way with number 4. Our first inclination is, oops, I forgot to raise the presser foot, because that's what this is connected to. You see how the gate opens and shuts? So we're going to take and we're going to do that, and it's going to go around the take-up lever, go down, and we go into our needle bar. But that's actually not the correct thing to do. Here's the reason why. Number 4, raising and lowering of the presser foot, is also connected to the tension discs that are inside here. The whole reason why you want the presser foot to be up is that those tension discs need to be open when the thread goes through. So if we try to put the thread through there, it's already laid right over top of the tension discs with them shut. There's a very good chance that it's not going to land inside of those tension discs, even if we take and we open the gate up by raising the presser foot. So here's what you really should do. If you get around to number 4, just stop, cut your thread off, open your tension discs by raising your presser foot, pull your thread out, and start completely over. I know it's a pain, but this is seriously the best way to do it and make sure that you get that upper thread down into those tension discs. So now we go all the way around, down through. Now we know that those discs have been opened, so that thread dropped right into it. We go up through there, and then down in here. This is like flossing teeth right here. Number 6 is down here on the needle bar. Almost every single sewing machine is going to have a spot where the thread is going to be on the part of the needle bar that actually goes up and down. Make sure that you get that into those jaws so that it stays. Now on some Janome machines, you're going to want to do it and you pull all the way to the left with it as far as what it'll go. And that's generally true for all of them. And from that point on, since this machine has a needle threader, we thread it through the needle threader. And then we're ready to thread our needle and start. Now for the next part that I want to show everybody is how to handle it when you have a vertical thread stand. We're going to take the spool off. Vertical thread stands are awesome for if you're doing embroidery or if you're doing some high-speed sewing, especially if you've got spools like this that don't have an end cap on them. They're made to feed off vertically like this. We take, fit it through. Now we come down. Now here's what everybody does. 9 times out of 10, when people are like embroidering and all of a sudden they have a problem where their thread's breaking or their needle breaks or something like that, it's because they haven't done the thread path correctly. If you take and you just do it through here the way that you would for the normal spool position, that leaves this thread bouncing around up here. What can happen is that as this thread is like not really contained and it's bouncing around, it can get down here, it can hook on this. I've seen it fall down in between these plastic pieces right here. It gets in places where you wouldn't think that it would get. That's a perfect example right there. It can hook underneath that. And if it gets wrapped around something like that or gets wedged down in between the pieces of plastic, all of a sudden our tension goes really tight. Down here, our needle will bend, come down and do a hit, and then our needle breaks. And then, of course, we're all focusing down here, wondering what the heck happened, when the problem is actually up here. Well, as soon as that needle breaks, all of the tension that was on this lets loose, this kind of comes slingshotting back, and it'll even pop out of whatever it was caught around. So then you're looking at it and you're going, what happened? I don't see what it caught on. So what you want to do when you're doing a vertical thread stand is that they almost all come with this little piece right here. This is an add-on piece for this machine, just so you know. They come with this little guide right here. You put it into that guide. Then thread it just like you normally would. All of the rules apply as if you were doing it from the standard spool position. The whole reason why that is that now our angle is coming in at something much closer to the angle would be if it was on like if it was in the regular spool position. There's less of a chance as you're sewing of this flopping around and getting wrapped around something that it shouldn't. Now the next part, if you don't have one of these add-on, because this is specifically made by Brother to fit this model of machine, if you don't have one of those vertical thread stands, a lot of people will use these. And these can be perfectly fine, but you have to be very careful with how you're putting it across the machine. Like if we take and we try to do it like this looks like everything's good. But what can happen is that as the machine's going along, especially with an embroidery machine, with as fast as they can go, this thread's moving around doing stuff, and it can bounce down. It can like get caught underneath that, can actually get into that, you know, and actually cut and break the thread. It can get wrapped around that. There's just all kinds of things that can happen with this. And what I actually saw during one of our last class periods, somebody was using one of these, and this part of the thread got wrapped around the hand wheel somehow, and the machine was running. And again, of course, we're all focusing here. We're not looking at what's going on over here. And from across the room, I saw this big wad, probably half a spool of thread, getting wrapped around the hand wheel. Luckily, that was easy. It didn't get in anywhere deep, and we were able to just pull it off. So when you're dealing with a vertical stand, you can take and, you know, you can still use those, but you just got to be careful and be aware of what your thread is going to be laying across as it's trying to get into the normal thread path. Like for this machine, I would probably put that stand more back here. But again, now we have to worry about it hooking on that. That's why getting the stands that the manufacturers make specific for that particular machine are just so helpful and makes life easier. So that's the end of this part of it. There's one more thing that we're going to touch on for the next one of these that we do, and it's going to be with one of the larger Brother electronic machines. It has to do with that gate going up and down. If you've got an electronic Brother machine that's got an automatic foot raising up and down, so if you've got a machine that has an automatic foot that goes up and down, I'm going to show you how sometimes, even if you have raised the presser foot up and down and you've gotten your little gate to open, those tension discs still didn't open yet. We need to wake the machine fully up, and that's what I'm going to go over the next time.